Calling from a 347 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
This me?
Yep. Got 60 seconds. Go.
Hey. Okay, this is Anthony from New York City. Are you familiar with the Byron Allen versus Comcast case going on in the Supreme Court right now?
No.
So it's a $20 billion lawsuit that Byron Allen brought up. He is the owner of the Weather Channel. Basically, the lawsuit is racial bias against Comcast for not carrying specific black-owned media. It's a distribution case. They found that Comcast, basically you have to essentially buy the more expensive packages in Comcast in order to get access to black-owned channels and networks outside of like BET. And they won in the Ninth Circuit. Comcast pushed it to go to the Supreme Court right now, and they're essentially arguing the only way that they can prove that there was discrimination is that if that was the sole reason for the refusal.
So in other words, like de jure as opposed to de facto, I think is the argument.
I think of the but-for clause.
Okay.
Or something like that.
All right, interesting.
And basically, if they win this in the Supreme Court, it'll possibly overturn the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which allows for basically anti-discrimination against minorities to contract. So I think it's a big case that definitely needs more coverage.
All right, we'll keep an eye out for it. I appreciate the call. Have a good Thanksgiving. Calling from a 516 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Is this me?
Yep.
This is Whitey from Long Island.
Whitey from Long Island. You got 60 seconds. Go.
So on Jimmy Dore's show, he was saying that Tulsi Gabbard is better on foreign policy than Bernie Sanders. And that shit's just a straight up lie, if you ask me.
I mean, I guess it depends on how you assess it. She's a big supporter, as far as I can tell, of the war on terror, which I think is, sort of fundamentally our modern imperialist, primary modern imperialist too.
She's an anti-interventionist, and in the sense that she doesn't think
from like a
drone is an
global
intervention.
solidarity standpoint, she's not even like as good as Bernie Sanders. But yeah, even on this fucking war of terror, she's not as good either.
Well,
but she was on Jimmy Dore's show, so
she did go on Jimmy Dore's show, so that really also has a huge bearing on your foreign policy assessment. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, all right.
As you know, Bernie Sanders really, his policies got really much worse when he did not go on Jimmy Dore's show. Calling from a 972 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hello? We only have 3 more callers.
Is this me?
It is you. You got 55 seconds now. Who is it? Where are you calling from?
Oh, shoot. I'm from Israel. Would rather not disclose my name. I'm about to enlist. So, is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so what I want to talk about. Right, so this is a bit late, but I wanted to call a few weeks before. Didn't get to it. Back when the Zuckerberg hearing were being played out, coincidentally, in Israel, there was a pretty large liberalization of the online banking sort of services. And very surprisingly, suddenly, LibraCoin started a very large marketing push on various media networks. Basically, a lot of very nice, very cheesy ads about how much we appreciate our customers and how much we are thankful and all the hard work we've done and how we just want to provide services for for all the people. And
interesting.
Yeah, I think it's just very telling that like as soon as those hearings were happening and as soon as more market opportunities were being offered in that place, they immediately jumped on that and like are trying to get into that market and basically take over it.
I appreciate the call.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, quick.
Do I have time? I wanted to respond to a thing that was said before about electability, and I think it's very much worth mentioning that basically the whole, like, Biden usually brings up the idea of electability for why we should vote for him. But the thing that him and the Obama coalition, I guess you could call it, don't mention is that they didn't just lose the 2016 election. They lost 3 elections, 3.5 technically. They lost in 2010, they lost in 2014, and they also lost in seat in 2012 as well. So their argument has been proven wrong, not just once, but various times. And it's worth mentioning that in 2013, there are like recordings of Bernie Sanders standing outside the White House while Joe Biden and Barack Obama are inside attempting to cut Social Security to win over supposed moderate Republican support.
I agree. Appreciate that.
Very good argument.
Yeah, good. I appreciate it. Good point. I think some of that you can find in Ryan Grimm's book too. Colin from